Tony, you had a significant size advantage on Maryland Eastern Shore. Did you think this game would be a good opportunity for Jaden to get untracked a little bit?
Yeah, I thought he played well offensively for sure, and the guys did a really good job of finding him, and he did a good job sealing and finishing, and slowed down. I think Maryland Eastern Shores plays hard. That's why they really play hard. They're quick, so they can they can make you get rushed, but the size disadvantage was noticeable. So, that was a good step for Jaden. And again, when you're going against bigger guys, the ability to do those things. But I thought he really established, easy baskets for us. The guys found them, and so that was good to see because I think he's just been a little bit rushed at times, but we're going to need that offensive punch that he gives us because when he's aggressive but not rushing, boy, that's when he's at his best, and I think that really helps us.
I can't remember if it was the first 3 or 4 minutes, but Reese had 3 steals, a blocked shot, a couple really active start to the game. Was that kind of the best example of just how he can take over kind of at both ends?
Yeah, I challenged the guys to just play really focused, hard basketball to start the game. Just play hard-nosed defense. Let's see if we can just be, kind of all over, make them earn, and be sound with our defense and not give up, have too many breakdowns. And I thought we did that. And then Reese's hands, yeah, he has some instincts, and we were flying around early and got off to a really good start. And then they cut it back. We came in off the bench, and our young guys weren't ready. It's a good example. I got to play 12 minutes, and that was good, but they kind of were. They just weren't ready, and that's a good learning experience. But I thought that first group got us off to a nice start.
Tony, how much value is there in getting to play lots of guys just to kind of reward them for, practice time and all that stuff they do?
Absolutely. That's great. Hopefully it means that you're not getting blown out, that you're winning, that you're playing them. But for sure, because those guys battle so hard. I mean, when I tell you, if you could see at times our scout team or just, how hard Chase works and Tane works, he's working hard. And again, I said those minutes are so valuable, regardless if you're down 10, up 20. Those are deposits that we're trying to put together as a team, but you're kind of chasing quality. But just for those guys to be rewarded with an opportunity, yeah, I always have said probably 20 times since I've been here, the thing I hate most about coaching is I see how hard these guys work, how much they want to play, and you can't reward them with that all the time. And that's hard, but that's life, right? So, but when you get those opportunities, it does feel good, and I always want it to go well for them, and I try to coach them hard and, be real with them, but also encourage them, and so I thought those were valuable minutes for all those guys.
Kaden's another guy who had some mismatches inside. It'll be a different story, obviously,
Yeah.
Tuesday night in Ann Arbor, but what are your thoughts on his play through these 5 games? Has he kind of elevated his game the way you hoped he would from last season?
Yeah, I think it started this summer. He's gotten stronger and heavier and just more comfortable playing. And, he has, I told the guys this, watching some of the basketball, you watch some of the good teams, and they're bigger players. They're all relentless. The good teams, they're so active. They may not even be that good, but they are active and relentless. And that's the challenge always for Kaden and for Poppy. Be so active and so relentless on the glass doing things. And I think, as Kaden continues to evolve in that area, that's with his length and his athleticism. He's so good at, blocking shots, blowing up ball screens, getting them on the glass. And just if he can keep getting continuous and being there, they were frustrated as we were a couple times. They're playing individual post defense, they get lift faked by someone that's 5 inches taller, so we go to work. But I think he's improved. That Baylor game, he was active. And again, Poppy and him, they're going to see physicality and size this next game, and you got to stand in there and you got to kind of go there. And that's what I keep encouraging those guys. But certainly, he's improving, and it was good to see. It is good to see him take those steps, and he's got to keep knocking, as all the guys do.
It's been, 2 neutral site top, ranked wins, the heavy hearts that you took on the road, coming back, no lull. How have you seen the experience that you have on the roster, especially when it comes to student leadership among the men and responding the way that you guys have over the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, on the court, I would say it starts with guard play and the experience of Kihei and Reese. And then, I think the experience of Jaden and Armand being in this program, and then Ben. Those guys have been through the ropes, and Poppy too, but those guys who've been playing more. Off the court, it's just about being there for each other and understanding, again, as I've said a few times, the perspective in all this and making sure you're looking at each other in the eyes and just, are you good? You understand what we're about here? Can you honor all the important things and be about what matters in how we practice, how we play, and how we care for each other? And I think the leadership of, the heart of each guy is what makes you able to endure. And just seeing, the moment of silence we took before the game, it just tears you up. It does. I wish I could, but everybody feels it, they see it, they know it. But our job is to pour in and encourage each other and keep pointing them to the real stuff and enjoy this opportunity that we have. That's all I know how to do, and I wish we weren't even talking about it, but here we are. And I continue to think about the football team, the staff, and those families, and think about them all the time.
Tony, back here in the corner. To what extent would you say aggression, guys seeming confident and going out there, jumping out, they go to Vegas, they have the performance they have, they come back here, they jump on this thing early. To what extent do you think aggression is part of the reason the guys seem to be kind of hitting on all cylinders right now?
Yeah, we say it all the time. It's the old adage, play hard. Our pillar of passion, do not violate that. Be active, be relentless, be continuous. Play hard, but then you got to play smart with that. And that's why I challenged those guys that came off the bench. I said, you may make mistakes, but play hard and then play smart. And so I like that. That was the challenge, because you say, well, we came off of a tournament where there were, 4 solid teams, good teams, and we're all trying to get better. All right, are you going to come out here and just say, well, it's not a ranked opponent. Anybody can beat anybody in this. Will you come out? And so I liked how they came out with their mindset and their effort. And so, again, every game will present different challenges. Now you'll go in a hostile environment against a high-quality team with size and ability, and you'll have to do the same and outlast them.
A quick two-parter. Do you have much experience at Michigan? And I think I read that you had a chat at some point with Jawan about coaching his son and that kind of stuff. What's your relationship?
Well, when I was obviously an assistant for my father at Wisconsin and for Coach Ryan, went into Ann Arbor many tijust many times. I guess I was there. What years was I at Wisconsin? I'm so old, I can't remember my bio. 4 or 5 years, whatever I was there. I was a manager 1 year, so we'll give it 5, just it's a good number. But in there a lot, going against, actually, Tommy Amker was a coach. Ryan Ellerby, who's a UVA guy, was a coach 1 year. I'm trying to think who else was, but talented players. What was the question about? I got. Oh, Coach Howard, yeah. Probably just maybe we talked a little bit about it. Him and his son's a good player, and we've recruited some of those guys on his team. But, I'm sure we touched base, and certainly what a heck of a talent as a player, Coach Howard, and obviously, he's done a heck of a job there coaching Michigan. And yeah, that's a special bond, coaching your son. It's a little bit crazy, but it's good in the long run.
Tony, did you have any questions about your team going into that tournament against that kind of competition, and did they answer them for you?
Yeah, to that extent, because I knew each team there was a quality team, and will you be able to, hang in there and battle, and going against the quickness and the guard play and that kind of intense defense, and just you got to make plays, you got to hold your own on the defensive end, on the glass, and both of those teams required that. And we had to play from start to finish. We had that huge run against Baylor, and then they came storming back, and then we're in a back-and-forth game against Illinois, and we finished strong. So it showed that we can be a good team, and if we'll just keep pursuing quality and improve, all 4 of those teams are really good. I don't know if there's a great team there, but there were 4 good teams, and it's who's going to improve now from here on out that is going to determine a lot. And that's probably college basketball. I mean, there are probably a couple. I mean, I haven't watched a lot, but that was the message. So I thought we sustained, we were continuous, and we didn't back down, and I like that. And again, you saw different guys step up at different times, and I think the depth and the versatility.